has to smell this funky cage the whole ride. Ron was like, "Can I see the dog?" And his dog, okay. So he pulled it up, and the dog was there, and the smell was coming from, it was coming because as soon as the crazy man lifted up the blanket, Ron got the whiff. He said, welcome to Michael Skits and Stories. Thank y'all. Thank y'all. Those of you who have been rocking with me since day one. Those of you who just found the channel, thank you. Thank you for all the support. I have another bomb story for y'all. But before I begin, y'all hit that like button, that subscribe button, that share button, hit that notification bell so you know when I am dropping. If you like to support the channel, so grateful. Cash App, $Michael US. Also, don't forget to check out my Spotify podcast, the 250 Gemstones Culture Podcast. Link is in the description. Y'all sit back, relax, and enjoy the story, man. Oh, yeah. That dog, something wrong with it, right? Something is wrong with that dog. So this story, I was on a bus when I first moved to Dallas, and it was coming to Dallas was an adventure because I just left New Orleans and I have some family out here too. And they were talking about Dallas is booming. They got a lot of jobs. And it was true. They got a lot of jobs. But at the time, I didn't have a car. At the time, your boy didn't have a car. I was doing bad. I was doing real bad in these streets. So I had to learn the bus system. Dallas is a very, 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 very big city. So thank God I was able to work close by my house. Worked at the DFW airport. So just like any major city, those of you who have never had to rely on public transportation, you're blessed. But most of us have. Even if you have a career, I see a lot of doctors and lawyers and nurses. They catch the light rail to bypass all the traffic. And, a lot of them commute. So they may take the light rail train all the way to the end of the city. Because you can park your car at the light rail station. So they have these big, beautiful parking lots. You could park your car. Say you live on the west side of the city, but you work on the east side. So a lot of people don't want to burn up all their gas doing that. They rather just take the 45-minute train ride to their car on the east side. So you work in the west, but you live on the east. They'll just ride the train all the way back to the east and then hop in their car. So, it's a major city. So there's a lot of crazy people. With that being said, in every major city, from New York to Baltimore to New Orleans to Miami, there's a lot of crazy people on them public transportation. A lot of funky people, a lot of stinky people, a lot of mentally ill people, a lot of homeless people. And that's why your boy had to get him some wheels. I had to get me some wheels. But until I got the wheels, I had to thug it out. So I met this bus driver. And he was cool. Older cat, older black man, bald head. Name was Ron. Ron was cool as shit. Family man, church man, deep thinker. Just a real cool dude. So every time I got on the bus, I used to work overnight. He used to work in the morning. So I get off from my overnight shift. I catch his bus in the morning to go home. And we just chopping it up. But one particular day, this man comes on the bus. Like I said, deranged, mentally ill. I don't know what he got going on, but his aura, he didn't have to say anything. It was just his aura. So he comes on the bus and flashes his ticket. And those that rode the bus before, they got the handicap space in the front of the bus so the seats face each other. So he always sat in the handicap area, and he had this cage with a blanket over it. So me and Ron, and I guess the rest of the people figure it's a little cat, a little puppy, or some type of pet. So one of the as he sat down, as the crazy man sat down with the cage with the blanket over it, another passenger, his I guess he's like an animal fanatic. He said, "Hey, what kind of pet do you have under there?" And I'm just being I'm talking to Ron, but I'm looking in Ron's mirror to see what this crazy man response gonna be. And like I predicted, this man slowly turned and looked at the other passenger who asked to see what was in his cage. And he said, "Huh, it's a puppy." I said, this nigga is trolled off. In New Orleans, they say throwed off. Some people say trolled off, meaning you crazy. I said, man, this man is trolled off. So I kept it to myself. So the passenger was like, can I see what kind is it? He said, it is a Rottweiler. Would you like to see? The passenger said, the passenger can't pick up on the creepy vibes. He just so excited about seeing this goddamn puppy. So the man raised up the puppy, and to my surprise, it was a puppy. To my surprise, it was a cute little Rottweiler puppy. I'm like, okay, cool. Okay, he's a crazy man. At least he's taking care. He got some type of responsibility. One thing about homeless people, they ain't gonna take care of themselves, but they're gonna take damn care of them little puppies. They're gonna take care of their damn dogs. So this was the first week, the creepy vibes are still there, but it's not as creepy because, I got some sense of this person. I'm still riding the bus. That was the first week. The second week, there was a smell coming from the crazy man's cage with the blanket. So I'm riding, I'm talking to Ron. Yeah, man, this what happened. Yeah, I went to the club last night, and he's like, oh, I don't do the club thing no more. I'm married, blah, blah, blah. So he was talking about single life and married life. So I'm starting to smell something, and Ron started to smell like, what's that smell? So we thinking it's the homeless people. So we brushed it off. So it's still in the second week. The third day, which is probably Wednesday or Tuesday or Wednesday, the third day in the week, the middle of the second week, the smell started getting better. Like, well, no, the homeless, the smell was close, and the smell was coming from the crazy man's cage that he was holding with the little Rottweiler. So Ron said, hold on, man. He told me he paused our conversation. He said, hey, man, is everything okay? And the crazy man looked at Ron. Yes. Everything is splendid. Why do you ask? And Ron was like, well, I don't know. The smells, I think there's a smell. I'm not saying it's you, but is everything okay with your dog? Is your dog sick, or everything's okay with it? And the crazy man say, oh, Roscoe, he's doing just fine. Just fine. I said, God damn, this man is creepy. So now we at the end of the second week, and the smell's getting worse. So Ron asks, can I see that dog? Because Ron's getting fed up with the smell because he has to ride with it. Because this man rides, I found out, Ron told me that this man rides all the way towards the end and he goes about his business. So Ron has to smell this funky cage the whole ride. Ron was like, can I see the dog? Is the dog okay? So he pulled it up and the dog was there. And the smell was coming from, it was coming. Because as soon as the crazy man lifted up the blanket, Ron got the whiff up. He said, hey, man, you're going to have to take care of that. Go wash your dog. And, you're going to have to take care of that because I don't want to ride with that. And that's not fair to everybody else. You got the dog. You got to take care of the dog. And so the crazy man looked at Ron. He slowly moved his eyeballs to Ron. You're absolutely right. I was like, Jesus. So we're in the third week. The smell went away. I guess the little crazy man, took Ron's advice. You did take the responsibility of the little puppy. And now it's time for you to, do your due diligence. Take care of that damn dog. So the smell went away when the third week. And towards the middle of the week, the smell began to come back. So Ron brushed it off. He's like, well, maybe, he low on funds. He eventually going to wash the dog. So at the end of the third week, no, I'll take it back. The middle of the week, the dog started making noises, It's not, the dog was real small. So I know, he sleeps all day, but the dog started barking. So, not like a strong bark, it's still small, like a growlish bark. Like, and everybody, oh, even though the cage was funky, everybody's like, oh, this the middle of the third week. Everybody's like, oh, like, oh, it's so cute. Okay. Ron backed up. Okay, it's a little puppy. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the third week, that cute little growlish like bark that the little puppies be making, it didn't sound like that no more. It started sounding different. So he gets on the bus, he sits down, do his normal routine. He sits in the handicap area. Me and Ron talking. This once again, end of the third week, and the little cute little, you know, the bark, it went from and Ron looked around, and I looked around. I'm looking at Ron looking at me, like, what the hell, bro? Okay, we just brushed up. Maybe, you know, maybe the dog's hungry. So I don't ride too long with Ron. I probably got 5 or 6 stops. But I heard it again, and everybody else heard it. It sounded like a weak, like disturbing, like growlish, like bark from a puppy. I said, God damn. I'm like, he ain't feeding, or I don't know what's going on. So this is the 4th week. The smell comes back fouler than anybody else could have imagined. The smell was so potent. He hops on the bus like everything was fine. Paid his fare, and he sits in the same seat in the handicap section in the front of the bus. I couldn't take it. I was like, Ron, I'm not trying to tell you what to do, but I'm gonna have to get off this next stop if you don't tell this man anything, because this smell is just crazy. Now, remind you, you know, the dog was barking, but this particular day, the dog wasn't barking. The dog wasn't barking at all. It was just smelling real bad. So everybody's like, hey, we can't ride like this. We don't know what's going on. And Ron pulled the bus over, and he said, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm not going to hold y'all up long. I got to talk, you know. He said, is everything okay? And as Ron stood up, Ron's a tall man like me. I'm 6'3". Ron's about 6'5". And as Ron stood up to approach the man, because Ron wants to see what's in that cage. Ron wants to see what was in that cage. So he stood up to the man, and he asked in a professional manner, hey, man, I can't have you ride on this bus. So as Ron was getting close to talk to him, the crazy man hurry up and put his arms around the cage. Like he was protecting the cage. And he started shaking his head. I said, what the f is going on here? He's holding on to the cage, and as Ron is trying to talk to Ron, even Ron got sidetracked. Like, what's going on? He's like, no. His arms were tightly around the cage with the blanket over it. Remind you, the whole time there's a blanket over this cage with the puppy inside, but it's smelling bad. So Ron was like, all right, man, you're gonna have to get off the bus, because we can't have this smell. So Ron said, you got to go, man. Come on, you got to get up out of here. And the dude didn't want to get off the bus. So Ron said, man, you're going to have to get off this bus. I don't know what you got going on. And I'm still thinking why that little puppy ain't barking, because usually when there's loud voices, puppies, or even if they're grown, they're dogs, they're going to make some type of noise because they can feel the tension. They can feel the disturbance. So as they can feel the disturbance, I'm waiting for the puppy. There's no bark from the puppy, and the smell is just unbelievable. He said, man, you got to get off this bus, or I'm going to call the police. You cannot ride this bus. Get your ass up and get off my bus. Now the crazy man holding on to the cage. No. And I was like, oh man, this is about to go down. I was like, damn, Ron gonna beat this man to death. Ron is gonna beat this man to death. So as he approached the man, he told him again, as he raised his hand, I don't know if the crazy man thought Ron was going to bitch slap him. As he raised his hand, the crazy man stumped on Ron's foot. He said, no, leave me alone. Ron got pissed, and they started tussling. So the man's holding on to the cage, and Ron trying to grab this cage. And he's trying to, be gentle with the puppy. He just want to get this cage out in the street. He wasn't going to do nothing to the puppy. I know Ron. Ron's a good man. He just want to get this cage with the blanket over it outside and get this man off his bus because police gonna be taking too long. Man, I gotta get you off this bus. I gotta get these people where they need to go. So they going back and forth with the cage and the blanket and the little puppy inside, and the puppy still not barking. They were tussling back and forth so hard, the puppy fell out the cage. The puppy has been deceased for at least a couple of days now. Did y'all hear me? The puppy, as they were tussling back and forth, the little puppy somehow, I guess during the little altercation, they unlocked the little door lock, the little door that's on the cages to let the puppies in and out. Somehow, I know somebody's finger hit it, but the little puppy fell out and everybody backed up. The little puppy's eyes was closed. The puppy was unalive. The puppy was lifeless. And everybody was shocked. This man is riding around with a dead dog. This crazy man was riding around with a dead dog. Ron called that police. He picked the little puppy up. He put the little puppy on the side of the street. He kicked this man out. He called the police. He made the report. And this is one of the craziest things that I've ever seen in my life. Y'all flood my comments. Why do y'all think this man was riding around with a dead dog? And what's some of the craziest things you've seen while riding public transportation? 250, capital G, Skits and Stories, Michael Skits and Stories. I'm gone.